Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I got a couple stories to share with you in this very latest Moon Lambo hot jam. So I hope you brought some toast for this hot jam. It's gonna be yummy. So there's this headline from finance magnates. XRP accounts for 2% of the crypto market cap. Now you might hear that 2%, think, well, that doesn't sound very impressive at all. Just 2% out of all. Well, slow down though. There's a number of things to consider. First of all, there's something like 11 billion cryptocurrencies on the planet. So the more they get created, and if they're worth anything, it starts to eat into the percentage. Realistically, I do believe there's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 12,000 cryptocurrencies on the planet, somewhere there about, way more than last market cycle. And also, when I see things like the XRP BTC pair, like when I see the charted out, and anytime it looks like it just takes way more XRP to purchase Bitcoin than it did some arbitrarily chosen period before, I'm like, oh, good. So that means that XRP is underappreciated at this point. So it means that, and historically that's been the case. Anytime you've seen this a big disparity, it just means that XRP plays catch up and then becomes worth substantially more, and then it doesn't take as much XRP to purchase Bitcoin. That's historically what we see. And so in looking at this, 2% of the crypto market cap, I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, so that means that when it balloons towards the tail end of this market cycle, then it's going to be a much bigger percentage. Also, there's this headline from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin and crypto on the verge of hitting the best part of bull cycle, says macro guru Raoul Pal, and here's why. And wait till you see the levels to which he's anticipating this bull cycle is going to go and the time frame, because if he's right, and he's somebody I take very seriously, by the way, but if he's right, things are going to get nuts in short order. And so, and he's by the way, also a former Goldman Sachs executive, in addition to being the founder and CEO of Real Vision, which covers all sorts of finance and crypto related topics in video format. And he's also pro XRP. In fact, he recently stated that he's betting on XRP going tenfold from the $1 mark. So yeah, you're talking about $10 XRP on the low end. So he's on board with that, and he's actually making that bet. He hasn't been coy about that. He's been very clear that that's something that he's gunning for here. And so it's fascinating to see his take on this, and it's not just based on whimsical feelings of the moment. It's based on data and his experience being in finance for his entire adult career, and just drawing upon, coming to conclusions, drawing upon historically what has happened in the crypto asset class. And so this really is not pipe dream stuff, but it's big. And so I want to talk about this also. But I should be clear at the outset, and so I shall. I am not a financial advisor. I do not have a financial background of any kind, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. Just to be clear, I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so into this piece we go. XRP accounts for 2% of the crypto market cap. XRP, one of the world's most valuable digital assets, now accounts for nearly 2% of the overall market cap for cryptocurrencies, with a market cap of more than $50 billion. XRP is the 6th largest digital currency. According to the latest data published by CoinMarketCap, XRP is currently trading near $1.10. The cryptocurrency has increased by more than 15% in the last 30 days. Since the beginning of this week, the digital asset has stayed above the market cap of $50 billion. Let me just pause here to state, too, just for frame of reference, at the time I'm recording this, XRP is $1.15. Bitcoin is at $64,568. And Bitcoin dominance, 45.77%. So there you go. XRP dominance, if you can call it that, at 2%. Bitcoin dominance at 45%. But again, this is where the opportunity is. Like, do you think that people will make more money investing in Bitcoin right now through the end of this bull cycle, or more money investing in XRP now through the end of this bull cycle? Seriously, go ahead and drop a comment below. I would love to hear what you think. Which do you think is going to yield better returns? Because I'll tell you, and look, again, it's not financial advice, but I certainly strongly believe that XRP is substantially going to outperform Bitcoin from here on out. Of course it will. How could it not, right? Unless you think XRP, for the first time in history, is not going to participate in an alt season. The market moves together, my friends. And so just think about how little money's in XRP. $53 billion market cap versus for Bitcoin a $1.2 trillion market cap. To get that multiplier effect, damn, don't take much money, and it's a coming. So I really love seeing all this money flow into Bitcoin first. It's absolutely fantastic because I know at some point in the future it's a coming for XRP. A portion of it is. And then price gets bid up super quickly when you have an illiquid cryptocurrency like XRP. And really all crypto is illiquid. It's subjective anyway. But I'm just saying, the whole crypto asset class, yeah, it's neat to see a multi-trillion-dollar asset class come from nothing to that so quickly. Cool. But it's going to look like nothing. Like that level is going to look jokeable. Fast forward a decade, it'll be tens of trillions, if not higher. Maybe over 100 trillion by then. So these levels are incredible, and they're not going to last. Piece continues, though. In terms of price gains, XRP has outperformed several other digital assets this year. The cryptocurrency has soared by more than 400% in 2021. And in contrast, Bitcoin jumped by approximately 120% during the same period. Well, how about that? What do you know? When you have a cryptocurrency that has less money in it, it doesn't take much for it to get bid up. Color me surprised. One of the major reasons behind the growing crypto dominance of XRP is its popularity among retail and institutional investors. Last week, Finance Magnates, that's the website that's covering the story, reported about the growing popularity of XRP among UK-based investors. I made a video about that, by the way. According to a report released by eToro, a prominent multi-asset investment platform, UK-based retail investors preferred XRP over other cryptocurrency assets in the last quarter. And so that's, by the way, that's out of every cryptocurrency on the planet. The purchasers in the UK, which is part of, as it turns out, the largest crypto market on the planet, part of Europe, XRP's number one out of roughly 12,000 cryptocurrencies in existence. Number one. And so it's just, I'm sitting here looking at the price action, and yeah, it's a large cap coin. Cool to see that it's in the top 10. Awesome. It has been the whole time it's existed. But I still believe, relative to Bitcoin and other assets, it's underpriced. That's what it looks like to me. And we'll see if my suspicion ends up being correct once this bull market is over and we enter bear territory. But I feel pretty strongly about that. And Raoul Pal, he feels very strongly about a few things. You're gonna love this, so buckle up. This is very interesting stuff. It's gonna happen so soon if he's right, and I think he is. I really think that he is. Because again, it's based off of data historically, what has happened, and this is a sharp guy. He doesn't just say stuff for the sake of it. Like, he says stuff that I find to be very exciting, but I know he's not just saying it for the sake of getting people riled up and excited. It's because there's something to this, and people need to be aware of this. Like, we are on the cusp of absolute crypto greatness. And so let's jump into this article, which is titled "Bitcoin and Crypto on the Verge of Hitting the Best Part of Bull Cycle," says macro guru Raoul Pal. Here's why. Macro investor and former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal says Bitcoin and crypto are on the cusp of entering the part of the bull cycle where the markets trend higher. In a new Crypto Banter episode, the macro guru says the digital asset markets are ready to move higher after a brutal corrective period in the last few months. And so I want to pause to state, this is something that historically only happens every 4 years, and it's for a very short period of time. I'm going to be sad when it's over a little bit, but I'll be looking forward to making purchases during the bear market. I will buy all sorts of everyone's fear. Like, I really will. I'm going to back up the truck. I'm just going to scoop everybody's fear into a flap. I don't have a truck, so I'll have to rent a truck or something. But I'll just scoop everybody's fear into the back of it, and in the form of all the crypto that they're too scared to hold. I will just purchase it. Anyway, here's the quote from Raoul Pal. "We are in the teeth of the best part of the entire cycle. The price is going to go up regardless. We threw all the FUD, which of course is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, at it over the summer. That was the 50% correction. Basically, the market's been trading sideways in a volatile range since March for Bitcoin and May for the rest of the market. This is the point. If you look at all of the post-halving cycles, this quarter is where all the gains are made." And then the piece continues. Paul also says he's looking at major catalysts that can push the crypto market to greater heights next year. And so this is where it gets interesting. How long is this market cycle going to go? Well, even on the longer end of what his expectations would be, not that long, all things considered, which means we're going to get ours soon. So it's like, win Moon, win Lambo. Well, obviously the answer is Friday, 2 p.m., always. But anyway, here's this quote. "The big factor that people need to think about is how institutions allocate. It's quarterly and it's annual. So we will see in this bull run everybody who hasn't yet invested or wants to increase their weightings that will come in jam, and generally everyone with new shiny profit and losses, the hedge funds too, will allocate. I think January, February, and March, much more potential. It could go as far as June. So let me just pause to state, out of the analysts that I respect and follow, almost all of them think that we're going to see the fireworks either this quarter or next quarter, or kind of blending in from one to the other, towards, meaning, tail end of Q4 into the beginning part of Q1 2022. Some acknowledge it could go into the second quarter. The only analyst that I follow to any degree that I can think of that thinks it might go beyond that would be Nicholas Merton, who is a very popular chart analyst who runs the gigantic cryptocurrency YouTube channel Data Dash. He's got approaching 500,000 subscribers at this point. Sharp dude. But I'm a little skeptical about that, because that's it's like the way that I'm looking at it, it's like all of these analysts with their opinions, like, to me, like, I get it, like, they're actual humans, I know, but they're data points. So, like, I'm looking at their perspectives and I'm like, okay, so throw out the extremes. And that would mean that if there is something to the group wisdom, which is based on data and real world experience and history, then if you just throw out the extremes, then the truth is probably somewhere in between. So that would mean more likely this quarter, Q4, towards the tail end of it, or the beginning part of Q1, but doesn't mean it couldn't go further. But then when you start talking about Q3, or maybe even Q4, because actually now I'm thinking about it, I think he was talking about Q4. Actually, I take it back, it wasn't Q3. Nicholas Merton was talking about November of next year, but that's an outlier out of the analysts that I follow. So maybe he's right, but if there's something to group wisdom, then he's probably not. So we'll see. But either way, like I'm just saying, we're through the most of it. That's what most analysts think right here. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, piece continues. The Real Vision CEO adds that he's keeping an eye on the total chart, which tracks the valuation of all crypto assets. According to Paul, the chart is trading within a long-term ascending channel and can potentially rally by as much as 400% by the end of the bull market. And take a look at this quote, like, listen to this, because the degree to which we will be seeing massive returns in short order, like, it really will just absolutely figuratively melt phases. That is what's going to happen. Check this out. This is the quote from Raoul Pal. It basically is 2 standard deviations oversold versus the historical trend. That's the total crypto market cap. So it looks like if you follow the trend and all of these exponential assets do the same thing, they get overbought to the top of the trend. My guess is this goes from $2 trillion to $8 trillion to $10 trillion at the end of the cycle, and then we correct. And so look, that's the quote. And again, this is not from somebody that is just some sort of hype man. This is based on real world experience, his background in finance, and just data. That's what he genuinely believes is probable, and it doesn't sound wacky to me. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't pretend to. I'm not making any price predictions here. I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold anything. But this does not sound crazy to me. Look, I mean, relative to any other asset class, yes, it's complete insanity. But that doesn't mean that it's not possible here. This is crypto, my friends. Things happen very quickly here. So think about that. $10 trillion market cap. Do you have any idea what that's going to mean for XRP? Like, there's a reason that he also is bullish on XRP. He thinks it's undervalued. He thinks it's an incredible trade opportunity. And so he's talking even outside of fundamentals, which is fine, because I frequently am too, because although I care about fundamentals and you probably do too, most people don't yet. They're going to have to catch up to us in a subsequent market cycle, maybe next market cycle or the one after that. I don't know. But no, like right now it doesn't matter. And Raoul Pal's right about that too. He recognizes it. But who cares? Who freaking cares at this point? Like, I am here for the mania, I am here for the bubble inflating, and then I'll be here for it to pop, because it's going to. I firmly believe that, and then I'm going to purchase everything on the cheap again and do it all over again. I waited until the market corrected, by and large. I'd have to double check to know for sure exactly what the percentage is, but probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 80% correction for cryptocurrencies, and then I just started buying more in the later part of 2018. So I did wait for things to bottom out fairly bit, and I knew I wasn't buying the bottom, and so what I bought, then it went down further, and then I bought, and then it went down further, and I bought and it went down further. And that's fine. That's what I expected. And it was like a long play. Just it took a number of years for it to become worth more. So most of the time I've been invested in crypto, I've been down or at break even. But I was fine. It didn't freak me out. I expected that. And the market in a general sense is doing about what I expected it to do, which is now it's rallying back up. We're going to enter the mania phase. Like it's all going according to plan. It's like rinse and repeat, folks. And so I'm just waiting because it's going to happen again. And I'm going to keep running this Moon Lambo channel with a silly ass name. And if you want to come along for the ride, I encourage you to stay, at a minimum, just stay in tune with what's going on in crypto, because the best time to pay attention, the most important time to pay attention, is during the bear market, because that's where you can buy stuff on the cheap. That's where you can set your positions and hold for years and years and years. But purchasing now, well, yeah, there's tremendous opportunity, I believe anyway, because there's the blow-off top is yet to be had. Purchasing now, not as good as purchasing in 2018 and 2019. Way substantially greater gains for people that purchased back then. That's the truth. So, but still, I'm looking forward to doing this because the crypto asset class is going to be the best performing asset class for the next decade at least. But I'll wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.